Most people don't need more advice, just the courage to gently face what they've been avoiding.
Because growth sounds beautiful until it asks you to be honest with yourself and stay.
Right, we had a subject today.
Yes, we did. We talked about, you were reading a quote earlier.
I got one of these books at a Barnes and Noble for like three. It was on sale for maybe like $1, I think.
Oh, wow.
It's really cute. It's like the Make the Most of You: 170 Ways to Be the Best You Can. This is by Patrick Lindsay, which is kind of cool. The page that I'm reading is 138, and I thought this was fun for kicks and giggles. And then it just turned out to be the thing we needed to read before podcast. So forget your age. For anyone, So forget your age. Live as though you have no idea of your age. The primes of our lives come at different stages. You're old only if you surrender your dreams. After all, who says you have to play by set rules? Live by the day. The years will take care of themselves. This is there's more.
There's more. I thought that was the end of the quote. My bad.
Well, because there's a section that gives you like a proverb. So everyone is the age of their heart. That is a Guatemalan proverb.
Everyone's the age of their heart. Yeah, I remember seeing a sign on my grandmother's wall that says, "You're only as old as you feel." So that makes sense.
Yeah. You know what's funny?
What?
So this book, I'm just going to show you guys. So this book, I fold pages whenever I think they're like important. But my art of folding pages have gotten really interesting. To the point where it's like, I didn't even notice there was like a full hidden page in here. Do you want me to read it anyways? I know this is it's not part of the topic, but just the fact that it's like, wow, look at that, it's a full page.
Okay, right, altered books. Go ahead.
Wow, my art of origami. Give yourself. You can give your money, you can give your possessions, but the greatest gift you can give is yourself. If you give from the heart, you enrich yourself as much as the recipient. The only gift is a portion of thyself. Ralph Waldo Emerson.
That is very important. I do like that one.
Me too. The fact that I learned how to...
You just enjoy the fact that you did origami in a book and didn't realize it.
Look at that. The page. Like, I learned how to... Anyways, yes. Back to what we were talking about, folks. So I was actually telling Katie about the importance of dreaming, how important it is to dream. And at any age, I know that we sometimes forget to dream, even like early. When we're young, people tell us, dream about what you're going to be when you get older. Don't dream about that, though.
Yeah, the whole what do you want to be when you grow up? And then when you tell somebody that what you want to be, and then all of a sudden they're like trying to nudge you in a different direction, shall we say.
Right? My favorite. So my favorite is like, Mom, I want to be a singer and a dancer. Maybe Britney Spears. Mom goes, honey, you want to... Let me show you somebody else. Let's dream about this instead. I love how I say Britney Spears. You can tell I'm a millennial. Oh my God.
Well, no, but I can relate to it from the standpoint as to, I remember wanting to be a oceanographer for about 30 minutes until my stepfather said, "Oh, well, you'll never be able to finish all the college that's needed for that."
Yeah, I wanted to be a marine biologist.
That would have been cool.
It would have been, but then I remembered I didn't really like being in water too long. And it took me a little bit to be like, maybe this isn't the path, because I don't like being wet all the time.
But that's the thing about dreams, is that they grow and they change and they evolve. Yeah. And as long as you have something that you're still striving for, then it makes life worthwhile, because if you're not
Yeah.
aiming for a goal, you're just wandering aimlessly.
Agreed. And it's kind of funny. I was actually, I think I was talking to my chat GPT, of course, and I was figuring out my new rhythm of how I want to live out my life. What are the times, the balanced times of rest, play, and then whatever else I'm supposed to do, like work.
Right.
And it was funny because I noticed that there was a part that I was missing. I forgot that I do need a day or like an afternoon to just sit and dream of things.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you do that, your creativity also increases, which is
Yeah.
fascinating. It's like your new vision for things change. The ways that you usually build something can become very monotonous, but then when you have a dream, it becomes more innovative instead of just block, 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 house. Versus, and I'm talking about Legos, by the way. I'm using like put a Lego, look, a house, yay. Versus, I made a Death Star. May the fourth just, pass. So
Right. But so the one fun thing about dreaming is that it helps us think outside the box, which I think is where
oh,
you were going with that.
oh yeah, no, it definitely does, and it helps curate things in a more unique way. And I believe that when you dream, you actually progress your life more.
You do, and you have the capability of creating exceptional moments in your life and predictive moments in your life, because you are striving for that perfection or whatever that ideal item is, whether it's your dream for the next week or whether it's your dream for the next 10 years. That builds momentum so you keep going forward.
Well, I actually find that funny because sometimes when you think about dreaming, you never know when the dreams come in.
That's true.
To me,
That's very true.
like I remember when I was like maybe 9, I knew I wanted a large dog.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
I was 9. I was like, I want it bigger than me. I want it to be over 100 pounds. And it's going to be my buddy when I live alone. I thought I was going to move to like upstate New York when I was 9, apparently. Like, and and then all of a sudden,
You're in California, but you got midnight.
yeah, cut to midnight. She's my adventure buddy regardless, but like it's great.
I mean, that's one of the fun things about it. I remember, I don't even know how old I was. It was probably sometime in elementary school that I wanted to go to Egypt. Egypt just became on my bucket list because I thought the stories and the myths and this history of Egypt was absolutely fascinating. I finally got to go in 2023. I got to spend a week cruising down the Nile. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I have a lot of great memories from that trip.
I've always wanted to see one of those
But
crocodiles.
I didn't see any crocodiles, though. One of my friends on the boat did see a hippo in the distance, but even with their camera zoomed in at like 100, it still looked like a little brown blob.
Oh.
But technically, I saw a hippo while I was in Egypt. So I'm happy for that.
Your favorite animal is hippos, everyone. So
Yes.
tuning into that.
Yeah. Feel free to look at the episode where Ace gifted me a hippo.
You
will see exactly how much I love hippos.
Yes.
But still, so there are dreams that we have as kids that we can manifest into our adult lives when we have the time and the talent and the funding and the know-how to do them or accomplish them.
Yeah, or they just hit you in the face by. I've had so many dreams. I've had so many dreams that would just. I was like, oh, that happened earlier than I thought it would have. Or that happened and I never thought that was ever going to happen.
Right.
Like, for instance, modeling for LA Fashion Week. That was interesting.
That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah, I didn't know I was going to do it till the day of, which is, yeah.
This was called being flexible and available, and I don't know what else, but I mean, just the fact that
Forrest
you were
Gump.
able to do it.
That,
Forrest Gump.
yeah, it's for, you know how like Forrest Gump just ends up at the White House and he's like, I don't know how I got here.
Yeah, I get it.
All right, so to be fair, that's me a lot of the time. I'm like, I don't know how the heck this happened. I mean, there were probably like subconscious steps that were taken to get me to whatever I was manifesting.
Well, to be in that location at that time, at that exact moment.
Oh, it was hilarious. It was like 2017, 2018. I walked for LA Fashion Week twice. And it was for and it was like pretty legit. I was next to real like women that were on America's Next Top Model. Like I walked with like,
Oh,
like,
wow.
no, this was like real, and I was surprised. This was when we were breaking down the stigma of body. Like this was before everything.
Yeah. I remember that season. Vaguely,
Yeah.
I remember that season.
This was before Victoria's Secret had their shutdown because of body image. This
Right.
was like the very first steps to that.
The very beginning, because there was, if I remember correctly, there was one season where she did where everyone was under like 5'4", and then there was another season where everyone was plus size.
Right. And this was a specific fashion show geared toward different body types.
Nice.
And it was amazing because like I felt really almost embraced, but also I was shocked because normally when you model, I went there as a influencer. So this was in the beginning of the days of when I was starting my influencing. I think I only had like 15,000 followers or something on Instagram, and I was doing a lot of modeling shots, and these were specifically like high fashion meets adventure, right?
Which is right up your alley.
Which is up it was my way. It was my way of dreaming and then bringing things to life in a creative way. And then I had a manager at the time that put me in this fashion show, but I was told that I was just going to do the red carpet, which I know how to do. I know how to talk, answer questions. And then all of a sudden, this woman walks in and goes, all right, I get to choose my models. Are you model? And I went, great, come on. I was like, I didn't even answer.
That is awesome.
And I was the first person to walk her line. There's photos. We can put them somewhere. But I remember when I was like 7 or 8, me and my cousins, we would go through our closets, find the dresses, and like pretend to put on a fashion show. And then look, there and behold,
you got to do it, which is amazing.
Yeah.
There's one person, I forget who it is, who has a TEDx talk where she always wanted to do a TEDx talk. She was manifesting to do a TEDx talk. One of her friends who actually had a TEDx talk scheduled for like the next day got sick and couldn't do it and asked her to fill in. So she got to go in and do a TEDx talk without any of the script, any of the practice, any of the approved talk. All of the rules around TEDx. She pretty much said, yeah, I manifested. I'm here. This is what I'm talking about. And it's funny because she got her dream. She got her TEDx talk.
I have a similar thing. Yes, the dream of so it's so funny enough, like I want to do a TEDx talk. It's not a dream. It's more of like I feel like I need to, but I'm scared to. It's really interesting. But funny enough, I remember I wanted to speak. I wanted to do more of speaking, more like Les Brown. That was a thing for me, and I was dreaming about it. And during the pandemic, I did it because I found out Les Brown was alive. I thought I didn't know he was alive.
You didn't know he was still with us?
Yeah, because when you watch the YouTube videos, it's from the 80s. So find out he's alive. He's teaching a class, and then I got picked to being one of his top students, and then I'm speaking in front of his 15,000 global audience. Live. These are the things, Katie, that I think about it, and I was like, it's so important you just never know when it's going to happen.
That's true. You never know when it's going to happen. And I think that's part of the fun is especially in your case where it just randomly shows up. And then it's like, yay, mission accomplished. Check that off. What's the next thing I'm going to dream? What's the
Okay,
next thing that's possible?
let's add a little bit of something. I had stage fright.
Yeah,
I
I
still have
know.
a little bit of it. Thank you. I still have like a little bit of it. So the fact that these catch me off guard, it's like a sneaky ha ha ha.
It's like a ninja move trying to convince you to get over your fears.
For instance, that yeah, you're gonna do it, huh? Are you a model? Okay, great. I didn't say anything. These are so, like you said, Katie. Yeah, you get to enjoy this because
I do because this is the beauty about having one, great conversations, and two, it gives examples of what is possible.
yeah,
I mean, because growing up in we did not live in a big house. We lived in a townhouse. It never seemed like we had the same amount of money as anybody else in my school growing up. So the idea of traveling abroad at that point in time was like wishful thinking
for Egypt.
for me to go to Egypt.
Okay.
But I saved and the opportunity came up, or the opportunity came up and then I saved. And even though there were people telling me not to go because they didn't think it was safe, I manifested that I wouldn't have any troubles on my flight. I wouldn't have any troubles while I was there. It was going to be a perfectly safe trip. Everything was going to go smooth. And it did. And I have some great memories from it. The beauty of that is that it gave the power to dream to my son to where he was able to study abroad in Germany for 6 weeks during the summer after I got back from Egypt.
That's awesome.
Because he had never considered really studying abroad until I started talking about Egypt. So our dreams inspire others.
That's true. I studied abroad when I was in college because my sister told me to do it. Like I was actually looking because she lived in the UK.
Oh, do it.
Yeah, do it. It was my oldest sister. She lived in the UK and went to school in the UK for a bit. And when she got back, she was telling me like, go to college for what you want. And at the time I was like, okay, so I looked for the schools with the best study abroad programs, not nothing to do with like best study abroad programs.
Nothing to do with the topic. It was just location, location, location.
It was just like, what's the best school with the best study abroad programs with the best scholarships that let me do community service because that's the only time I'll be able to work for free because everything's taken care of in college pretty much, right?
Right.
From what I remember is like, this is the only time I can do it for free, air quotes, because I know later it's going to be tougher.
Yeah.
So I found the school that actually gave me a scholarship for both. And they had a study abroad program to live in 3 countries in one semester. So
oh no, that's insane.
Yeah. So after my sister could study abroad. I did it tenfold. But yeah.
Yeah. So so the dreams are important not only for us, because it allows us to grow and it allows us to be inspired to try new things or to obtain new achievements or milestones in our lives. But it inspires the people around us too.
Yeah.
And because sometimes we don't think we can do anything until we see somebody else who's already done it.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to call this the Forrest Gump concept.
Okay.
You know how he just shows up and he's like, oh, I did that thing. I got a full ride playing football because I can run across the field.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. You just never know how things are going to happen.
That's true. As long as you're open for
when it's going to happen.
It may be showing up in not the way you expected.
Yeah, but I honestly believe that takes one, it does take openness, but it takes, so dreaming also does this thing, in my opinion, where it takes the rigidity of your reality and clears it, if that makes sense, so that you're not stifled by what's present. Instead, you feel more flexible because there's a possible other reality that you're bringing into existence. I know that sounds very quantum leap theory.
Yeah, it is very much jumping timelines.
Yes. Yes,
but is. That's kind of what it is.
That is exactly what it is. So when you're in a state of just sitting, dreaming, or just like letting your mind wander to what you truly desire your life to be, or what experience you want to have. Like, for instance, I was making these photos about the Met Gala. That was a lot of fun, actually. If you saw it on Instagram, I was like inspired by somebody else who created a photo of themselves for the Met Gala. And then I went on my own chat GPT and I was like, I want you to take Gaurav Gupta, by the way, it's a designer.
Okay. Thank you for those of us that don't know.
For those of you who don't know, the reason why my photos and the dresses are so like whoa is because I put together I asked my chat GPT to create a design for combining Alexander McQueen, Gaurav Gupta, and something Ling. I forgot her name, but she created what Jenna Ortega wore, that metal thing.
Okay.
And I was like, all right, mix all three, and then put me at the Met Gala using this photo from the red carpet. And that's why the dresses look like that. And I have a friend now saying, let's get to the Met Gala. And if that dream does, manifest, folks, you can totally work with me on how to do that as a coach.
I think we will go back and post it as to the show notes. We'll add, here's the photo of Ace actually at the Met Gala.
Here's the dress. Very similar. I love them.
For those of us who don't aspire to do red carpet events, it's the same thing for speaking in front of a group of people.
So here's the funny thing. It is the same to an extent, but I don't aspire to do it, which is fascinating. I just I love being art and being.
You love fashion, yeah.
I love fashion. I love art. I love being photographed when I'm wearing something that makes me feel alive, right? So when all those factors come into play, it's not like I'm aspiring to be this famous red carpet walker. It's more of like, I love feeling alive and I want to share that. And then you see how once I'm wearing something that makes me feel alive, my energy just.
True. And I think that's a defining feature between different types of dreams. Because
so it's the feeling, actually. That's what's really going to get you.
Because, some dreams are just items on a bucket list. And other dreams are finding that emotion again, finding that feeling again, that creativity or that spark or that aha or whatever you want to call it, and being able to continue to chase that.
So let me provide a tip for everyone out there that's listening to what Katie just said about the bucket list checklist thing.
Yeah.
Right? And then the feeling. So that's what's going to actually bridge your manifestation. If it's just like, I want this, but there's no heart or no feeling, you can't really imagine yourself sitting in the shoes of who you are within that experience or that lifestyle and loving it. It's not going to happen. So so if you take a good chunk of hour, just no distractions, where you're just sitting there and you're imagining, for example, being at the Met Gala. There's a Met Gala of 20 something. I'm not going to put a number on that. And you're wearing, let's say you're wearing something that makes you feel alive and you're excited and you love fashion. I wanted to be a fashion designer when I was a kid. So that was the dream. Instead, I was like, I don't like sewing. So we're going to do the model side. Just imagining that feeling, being in that space. What does the air feel like? What is the sound of everything? what does it feel like with the support around you? Like, what are the things that you really, really enjoy? And I'm closing my eyes when I'm saying that, because you need to envision this in order for you to do
Mhm.
that timeline jump, to do that manifestation. Because when you do that, now your vibration, your frequency, who you are has shifted internally, and it's going to match that new reality, and then everything else is going to fall away. It might be a little turbulent if it's like a very big dream, but
Yes,
it
very
will,
much so.
yeah, it'll, that's like one of the ways to get to your dreams. Additionally, there's other spiritual practices. I chant, I mean, I
Right.
think that's another thing. But that's a really, really good starting point. And then remove the doubt. Like, instead of thinking that could never happen, which happens, it does. You
Yeah.
gotta just tell that part of your brain, like, let me just enjoy this for a minute.
Well, there's the combination of let me just enjoy this for a minute, but it's also the fact that we can change our thoughts. We don't have to always be stuck with the initial thought that we have. So if the initial thought is I can't, acknowledge it, then be like it's wrong and I can't.
I thought I literally air quotes thought I can't do the model thing. I can't walk runway. I was so wrong. Oh my gosh, I just remember like being on that runway thinking, think Tyra Banks, think Tyra Banks, think Tyra Banks. Sorry, I'm saying that because like this, it was just so like, going back to that moment, I remember just thinking, wait, what?
Yeah.
And then walking around like, I just can't believe this is happening, but it's happening. Um, Same thing with like some of your biggest dreams. For instance, Katie, what's another big dream of yours? And ladies and gentlemen, what I would love for you to do is, if you're watching this, write down your dreams in the comments, and let's manifest something real. Safe space. You can share it with us.
Safe space.
We will
Yeah, I mean,
delete any bullying comments. So
absolutely. I do monitor that stuff.
very well.
Um, most of my dreams right now are around travel. I want to go to Ireland. I want to go to Scotland. I want to go to New Zealand. So it's seeing myself in those places. It's putting those photos on my vision board. It's reminding myself that it is possible to fly internationally because I have. And so that's mostly what's there. I mean, the only other dreams that I have at this particular point are happening because I wanted to see my son graduate college, and he's doing that later this month. So, I mean, sometimes our dreams are not experiences for us, but experiences for other people. I wanted my son to be able to experience college life. I wanted him to be able to find his own person. I wanted him to be able to graduate. So that's where most of my dreams have been for the last 4 years that he's been in college. Well, he's going to be graduating soon. So now I get to put my focus on what I want next.
Oh, that's fun. I love that. And then
It's a
it's
mom
funny.
thing.
Yeah, I get it. I
Mom's
get
put her
it.
dreams on hold for her kids.
Because I'm a dog mom, and I'll tell you what my
Yep.
dreams are right now versus
Uh,
like what they were
versus
when I
what they
was.
were.
Yeah, because like the 8-year-old me who wanted to be a fashion model. All right, we did it. Thanks.
Yep.
We did it. What I really want now is like a house in Arizona.
Right.
Like, I want to own this house, 2 bedroom, 2 bath, maybe 3 bedroom. Um, Honestly, I want 3 acres, and then have like one area as like a dog park area. I'm not kidding. Like, I really want like a big area, and you can do that now with this app called Sniff Spot, where people rent out the area for their dogs. If you have a
Nice.
yard. And then, of course, I want like another area with 7 ADUs so that I can Airbnb or even create a retreat space, which I would love.
Right.
And then, of course, my main house, of course, on the other acre, because we got it
On the other side.
on the other side. But I still want the mountain feel. So I love cabins. Like, I actually want a cabin.
Hmm.
And then I want another dog that's sturdy and big, so Midnight has a playmate. And like this is like the dream roots that I want.
Right.
And near Sedona or between Flagstaff, but definitely with really great energy. So
And that makes perfect sense because I know that was a dream of mine to have a house and be able to support my family and not have to live with in-laws anymore or anything else like that. Being able to afford all of that. Well, I got my house 10 years ago, so now I have to find something else.
oh yeah, when you achieve your dreams, it's like it's time to dream more.
It's time to dream more. It's time to dream
Yeah.
bigger. But I don't want a bigger house. So I get to redefine what it is that I want.
So here's another thing. Let's talk about that. Air quotes bigger. So
Right.
what is bigger? Like sometimes for me, I could go to the Met Gala. Don't get me wrong. That's not necessarily like the dream right now.
Right.
It's the other thing is what I want. I want that. I want, right. And I want to make sure it's not in a fire area or flood zone. You know, just like such a safe, peaceful, like home base is what I truly want.
Right.
And in the wedding, but it's kind of what bigger could be is it doesn't have to be.
It's relative. It doesn't mean physical. Right.
Yeah.
It's not a physical bigger. It
doesn't have to be fame.
It doesn't have to be fame. It doesn't have to be fortune. It doesn't have to be an item. When I'm referring to a bigger dream, I'm referring about that feeling.
Yeah, that expansive feeling.
That expansive feeling that we get when we think about it. It feels bigger. It feels more important almost.
Yeah. And what's kind of interesting, and I want to hear your opinion on this.
Uh-oh.
So when I dream about like something bigger, what's fascinating is like my environment almost feels like it's not adequate anymore, which I found to be fascinating because of course you still have to appreciate what you have in order to bring in the right things anyways. Oh, yeah. But my opinion, when you dream that big, Katie, what happens to what you see around you? Do you feel like, oh no?
Well, I will say the one thing that I noticed is because I am kind of in that space right now. It's almost like there's too much space. In like for my house right now, I bought this house 10 years ago, almost 10 years ago, thinking that this was going to be my forever home. Because I fell in love with it when I walked in the front door. But as I've grown, as I've healed, as I've shifted, and I'm starting to figure out what it is that I really want to do with the rest of my life and what I want to experience with the rest of my life, it feels like I'm walking around an empty stadium, not a 1,200 square foot townhouse.
Yeah, because it's the old you.
Because I feel like I don't need this much space to accomplish what it is that I want. And I'd much rather accomplish what I want instead of getting more space. So that's the only defining thing I have right now for my dreams. Because part of me was really excited that Austin might be moving home when he graduates college. And part of me was annoyed that he might be moving home when he graduated college because I've gotten kind of used to living by myself and he's not moving home. So I'm like, yay. And part of me is like, that sucks. So I'm having all these conflicts because I'm still trying to figure out what it is that I want.
Yes. And that's another thing I'm going to recommend to our audience here. Dream fully.
Oh, yeah. Picture the whole thing.
Picture the whole thing, all of it. And if you feel tired at anything that you're envisioning, that's not it. Just cut it out and do another, or find something that feels right, and then continue to feel that, and that'll bring the clarity into the present moment. It's really fascinating.
And if you get the chance to experience even the slightest bit of it on your way to obtaining whatever that big definite dream is, go for it.
Or you could be like me and it just slaps you in the face and you're
yeah, it could just slap you in the face, but you drove through the area that you want to purchase your property in.
Twice.
Yeah, see, so you've kind of gotten that experience as to the
you have to touch
concrete,
it.
yes, this is where I want to be.
Yeah, you actually have to touch it. Like you have to touch this
Yeah.
the thing.
I know somebody who is currently out because their dream is to own a really big, badass pickup truck. They are currently going out to car dealerships and test driving every single pickup truck that they're allowed to find which one it is that they want. They know what their dream is, they just don't have the specifics. So now they're going out and testing which one they like, the way it handles, they like how high it is, whatever. I'm never going to get into it because the one they want sits like an extra foot up off the ground.
See,
and I don't want to climb a ladder to get into a vehicle. That's me personally. But they're out there test driving different vehicles so they can find out which one they want, so they can put, okay, I want this brand, this make, this model, this color, and all of these fun accessories on it, so they can put that in the vision board. They can put their energy towards manifesting the exact one that they want.
Yeah, and when you find out what you don't want.
Oh yeah, it's so nice to be able to check something off your list that you don't want anymore.
I rented a car when I had it to. So I'm in LA, and I know a lot of people say that you need a car in LA.
No, you don't.
Not right now. No, you don't. To be clear, like because of Lyft now, like Lyft wasn't invented when that phrase came out.
Right.
I've been lifting, seeing different cars. There's Turo. You can rent cars that are around. I am never getting a white sedan ever for this dog. Just never doing it.
Yeah, no.
Also, I just don't like driving low to the ground. It's because I can't see the curves.
Yeah, I mean, there's different things that we learn as we drive different vehicles.
Yeah,
I was just using vehicles as an example, but it's the same thing for other aspects of our lives. I mean, I walked through at least 10 different houses, 3 of them being townhouses, before I found this one, because this one felt right.
Right, and Katie, look, we're manifesting our studio. Look at this.
Yes, it's going to be a coffee bar.
It's going to look like a coffee bar with a staircase behind it. It's going to look real. And instead of the plants, well, there's still going to be plants, but we're going to have an apothecary back there. So it just...
So we're trying something new. We're manifesting what our future studio is going to look like.
It'll be on my lot in Arizona. We got this.
Okay. I'll fly out once a week to visit to record episodes with you.
I thought you want a smaller home. One of the ADUs will work for you.
I do, but I don't know if I want to live in Arizona. I need to visit more states.
That's true.
I didn't drive across the country yet. You've already done that. I need to do that first before I decide where I'm going to live permanently.
I've heard not many people do that. By the way, I did manifest that dream. I wanted that dream.
Yeah.
So,
my granddad drove all over the country in his RV, so I know it's possible. I just personally haven't done it.
It's not a common thing. It's
no, it's not a common thing now. It used to be really popular like 30-some years ago.
Okay,
that was when my granddad was doing it.
There's a lot of that'll be in a different video, folks. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for joining us. Yes. Take care, everyone.
Bye.
If this conversation stirred something in you, don't just sit with it. Work with it. You can go deeper with us through our sessions, workshops, and community experiences designed to support your growth in real time.
All the details are in the show notes, and if this episode resonated, share it with someone who's ready to meet themselves a little more honestly. Until next time, challenge what you believe.
Choose who you become.